Listen, I am not about to buy a new Stanley for every single holiday. I swear, everyone's always like, oh my god, overconsumption. And they act like I'm personally single-handedly destroying the environment, like in the comments of these videos, which, you know what, go off, I guess, but personally, I'm here for a good time, hopefully not for a long time, you know? It's always really interesting to me to see how people react to 1-minute, highly staged and edited videos. Like, I spent the majority of last week switching out this wall art for the first time since 2020. Please, someone tell me how that's overconsumption. And it's also really interesting how different the reaction is based on where you post. Did you guys see the latest Stanley Love Shack Fancy collab? I really want the ornaments. I wonder if they open, because I know they sell keychains like that where you can open them and put like lip balm or something inside. Or, oh my gosh, I wonder if you can actually use these. I feel like for $50 you should at least be able to use it as a shot glass. Let's be real, it's probably another Sabrina Carpenter for decorative purposes only situation. I literally only have the one Love Shack Fancy Stanley. I gave my extra one to my sister for Christmas last year, and my wallet has been safe from the rest of the Stanley collabs. I literally have mine next to me right now as I'm recording this. I got this little MagSafe attachment for your phone to put on top. Highly recommend that, by the way. Anyways, I filmed the majority of these clips around Christmas time last year, but never got the chance to edit them, so here we are. The few things that I did buy, I believe, are still available. As always, everything will be tagged via YouTube shopping. I did sort of a pink girly bow theme last year. One of my favorite projects was this bow wreath. I literally never took it down from last year. Like, it's still hanging above the TV in my room. I feel like that's one of the more boring parts to explain, so if you want to learn how to do the double loop bow and just like how to make the process easier, I'll put that at the end. My sister and I made these pumpkins around Halloween, and we thought it would be cute to do a Christmas version. First, we picked out some embellishments to be the ornaments on the tree. I like to take a picture of it so I don't forget where everything goes. And we used modeling paste to make the trees 3D. If you don't have modeling paste, you could use silicone caulk, or you could make a DIY modeling paste by mixing 8 tablespoons of baking soda, 3 tablespoons of acrylic paint, and 2 tablespoons of Elmer's glue. You'll want the consistency to be like a thick frosting. If it's too thin, you can add more baking soda. I actually did that in a YouTube video a couple years ago. It works pretty well. It's just a little bit more grainy than the modeling paste that you'd buy at the store. My tree leaves were definitely a little questionable, but I think I got better towards the end. I was originally going to do some dark pink leaves on top, but I didn't really like how that looked. I should have just mixed the two colors like I did for the pumpkin, but it was a little late for that, so I just stuck in my embellishments. I still thought it looked too plain, so I found some of this pearl trim and used it to make sort of a garland on the tree. I also added some glitter, and after it dried, I attempted to give it some more dimension with paint, but I think the trunk's just throwing it off. Honestly, it might have looked better without it, but hey, I tried. Honestly, I haven't really done anything in here since like 2020, except I did get some wallpaper to cover up that awful whiteboard wall. I mean, it was kind of cool being able to decorate it for the different holidays. Here's a throwback to how I decorated it for Christmas in 2021. Sounded good in theory, but in practice, let's be real, I do not have the time or the motivation to be out here drawing a whole ass mural every couple months. If you want to get these rose sheets but you have a twin extra long size bed, get the full size ones. I just got this UGG comforter set. I love it, it's super soft, but I did end up putting another comforter underneath it just because I get really cold. Millie has decided that she is the star, she's the main character, she will not be changing her schedule. I think it turned out pretty cute though. I was gonna put this like cinnamon ornament garland that I made a few years ago above the bed, but I had it in a box with a pineapple scented candle, which was stupid because now it just smells like the candle. So I might have to make a new one because, you know, pineapple, not really the vibe that I was going for. I kind of want to make one of those bow garlands too. Let me know how I should decorate the walls above the bed, and come back to see how I decorate the rest of my room. Somebody commented that this wallpaper made my room look like a prison, and I mean, they're not entirely wrong. So let's make some Christmas wall art. I picked up some wrapping paper at TJ Maxx and covered a few canvases with it. Here's how to tie the perfect bow on any present. Holding the ribbon with your left thumb, bring it across and around the back of the gift like so. Make sure it's underneath where your thumb is. Then bring it up to the top like this, and down across the back till you get to the bottom. Now take the end of your ribbon and loop it under the other pieces like this. I like to loop it up underneath this one on the side, then tie a knot so that everything stays nice when you tie the bow. Since this is going to be wall art, I tied my bows in a double knot because there's a 100% chance that this is going to become a cat toy. I honestly don't even know why I decided to do this because Millie is just going to destroy it. But I also very carefully sealed the ends of the ribbon with a lighter so that they wouldn't fray. I hung those above the bed with some command strips. I mean, this is like a vinyl wallpaper, so hopefully they don't ruin it. We'll see. And I decided to hang the cinnamon ornament garland from a couple years ago. I also made this bow garland. Here's how to make the perfect bows every time. Drape the ribbon across the front of your left hand like this, making your pointer finger and your thumb into an L shape, using the rest of your fingers to hold the end of the ribbon. Wrap the working end of the ribbon behind your thumb, then in front and around your pointer finger like so. Bring the end back through the middle and around. then push it through that center loop. If you're using pre-cut ribbon like I am, you can adjust it as needed to create perfect uniform bows. This technique will work with almost any size ribbon. For this bow garland, I cut pieces of 7/8 inch ribbon to be 16 inches long. But after you make a whole bunch of them, you can hot glue the loops together like this. Just glue a whole bunch of bows together until your garland's the length that you want. I made mine pink and red so that I could keep it up until like at least Valentine's Day. I didn't have a ton of ribbon, so I just made a small one to go above my bed. But here's how it turned out. Let me know in the comments. Did you decorate for Christmas yet? I'm only about halfway there. Honestly, I'm probably just gonna keep this up until like the middle of January at the very least. Do you guys take down your decorations right after Christmas, or do you keep them up a while? I'm pretty sure my record's like March. I don't know how some people have room for a whole big ass tree in their bedroom because I certainly do not. So we're doing a wreath instead. You could hot glue the bows on, but I decided to add a small piece of thin wire through the back of mine so they'd be easy to rearrange or remove if I want to do something different next year. I made a few different types of bows for this. For the normal bows, drape the ribbon over your hand, go behind your pointer finger, in front, then around your middle finger. Push the end back through the middle, then through the loop, and bam, you got the perfect bow. For these double loop bows, it's almost the exact same process. So you go behind your pointer finger, around the middle one, then you're going to circle back around your pointer finger and around your middle finger again. Then, just like before, we push the end back through the middle space, tuck it through the loop. Super easy. I used a whole bunch of different styles of ribbon, lace. I want to make some more of the giant bows for another project, so I'll show you how I did those in the next video. I'm working on a couple things to match this tree canvas that I made a couple days ago. I really should have started this in like November because, as usual, it's taken a little longer than I thought. I feel like I should be on New Year's resolutions already. Do you have a New Year's resolution yet? Well, that'll show me not to buy candy canes online. I wanted to make some of these candy cane bows, but there were literally only 2 in this whole entire pack that weren't broken. To make these, you're going to want to put 2 of them together like this so that they kind of make a heart. You'll want to bake these at 175 for about 10 minutes. I figured we could try and melt some of the broken ones back together. If they're broken at the hook part, you can kind of just like carefully make these heart shapes, but if they're broken on the straight part, it works better if you like melt them back together before you try to make the bow. After 10 minutes, you can take them out and pinch the center of each one so that it makes more of a bow shape. If your candy canes aren't already broken, break off a piece towards the curved part and stick that on top to create the center of the bow. Stick them back in the oven for 10 more minutes, then you can pinch that center part to wrap it around more, and bend the straight parts to create more of a bow shape. These cool super fast. Like honestly, if you're gonna do a bunch of them, just keep them in the oven while you do this part and like be careful. It's kind of what I did for the rest of these after I was done filming. Not gonna lie, some of these are definitely looking a little questionable, but that's my own fault. I should have just bought them at the store, but I needed to make it $35 to get the free shipping. Everyone's getting a Stanley this year. Here's how I wrap them. This will work for basically any rectangular box. Cut a piece of wrapping paper that's way bigger than you think you'll need. Fold the bottom of the wrapping paper up halfway across the front. Then push the wrapping paper in to create a triangle shape on either side. Now fold these triangles across the front. So we go right, left, and secure it with a piece of tape. Then you can fold the extra paper like you normally would. Mine was a little long, but it's always better to cut off the extra than to make it too short. Now we have some pockets where we can slip some smaller gifts. I told you guys my sister wanted the extra Love Shack fancy one. Of course I had to get her some straws. And I got some of these bow straw toppers too. Cosmo and Wanda thinking they're slick. And I got my parents matching Barbie and Ken Stanleys, which I know some people will probably be like, why would your dad want that? And honestly, he might not. His main present's a Ring camera, but he drives my mom crazy because he always takes her drinks. It's kind of an inside joke. I think they'll get a kick out of it. My mom went on a rant about how she hates the hard plastic straws the other day, so I got her some silicone ones. I didn't like that the tape was showing, so I cut out some trees to cover that up. And here's how they all turned out. Super cute. I hope everyone has a great Christmas if you celebrate. And if not, I'm impressed that you watched this video.